Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. We're joined now by Bloomberg's Isabel Lee, Bloomberg Cross asset reporter. Isabel, what are you looking at?
Looking at Chewy, and I have to be honest, at $9.50 from rising as much as 4%, it just dropped lower and it's now down 2.31%. And I'm really confused why, because my script and all of the BNs we have, the stories we have online, is just really about how it beat. Net sales beat estimates, and across the board, you see auto customer sales, adjusted EBITDA margin, even active customers, they beat across the board. So I really don't know why we're seeing some pressure. We have RBC Capital saying, this report even gives investors some confidence that the category is stabilizing. So I thought this was going to be for pet lovers out there.
Chewy.
Yes, Chewy.
I have a neighbor, Harry, who was a very maladjusted and very angry dog. But he is a Chewy customer, so the boxes are there all the time. But my boy Harry needs some doggy downers or something. But Chewy boxes are there all the time.
Imagine you didn't have the Chewy boxes.
I know.
What would happen there? It's interesting. We'll see. Maybe there's some underlying message on the call there. What about Dollar Tree?
Dollar Tree. This is also interesting because you have shares edging higher by almost 5%. The company's offloading its Family Dollar chain for about $1 billion to Brigade Capital Management and Macellum Capital Management. I hope I'm pronouncing both those correctly. After a decade of buying the business. So the deal is expected to close next quarter, and it marks a disappointing end to Dollar Tree's bid to establish itself as a discount giant. I mean, I think I've been to a Dollar Tree once, and it's just exciting because when you go there, you're like, everything is going to be roughly $1. And the deal closes the books on a sad chapter on Dollar Tree, said Global Data. The stock has declined around 10% this year, and a lot of the stores will also close following the transaction. I think it will have.
All right.
Except they're not actually $1, but it's just a target.
Close-ish.
It's close-ish.
Nothing is ever $1. Okay. Even the pizza isn't $1.
True story. All right, and copper yesterday hitting a record high. We're kind of off that right now, but Freeport-McMoRan kind of dragged up along with that price increase.
Exactly, but now shares are edging lower again. So lots of reversals here. We have U.S. President Donald Trump signaling the tariffs for industrial metal could come in weeks rather than months. And yesterday, to your point, Alex, the copper in the U.S. rose to a record, and Freeport operates copper miners in Arizona and New Mexico. Canadian copper miners, though, edged a little lower. First Quantum, Hudbay, Capstone. But this is an interesting thing because it's one of those assets that's really been, as some say, ping-ponged with all the tariff headline conversations. Year to date, Freeport shares have climbed 13%, and they beat the S&P.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.